Check. 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 All right. Royalty-free music. Thank you very much, DGTV. We're here for another installment, another episode of Commerce and Cocktails. We're doing a little different. We're going to be doing it on Friday nights now. We were doing it on Saturday nights, but not as many business people are up and at them, and you know, we're kind of trying to make this fun and exciting. We're trying to be, you know, a little more loose, not so serious with all the business talk, but we still want to touch on all that stuff. We want to get into that, right? You're here with us, and we're going to get into it. We're going to thank DGTV for putting out this, what they do so well, right? Damon Gaming TV. Thank you so much. A little bit of live audio action here. Thank you. Okay. We usually keep them on in the background a little bit, just a little sort of background action. You know, we want to keep it there, but we also want to focus on what we're doing today. So today, we're doing a couple of things today. One of the things that we're doing is we are definitely talking a little bit about some cyberpunk things. We're going to go over why cyberpunk. Hold on, we're going to turn this down. We're going to have like that. There we go. We're going to keep our mic up a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit today about cyberpunk and why everybody needs to chill on all the bugs and glitches in cyberpunk. CD Projekt Red had a huge task to undertake, and it's a massive game, and I don't think people quite realize how big and elaborate and how rich the game is, not only in just the graphics and all the map building and the map design and just how unbelievably explorable it is, but just in comparison to anything else that's out there. And I think that some of the people who have said, you know, that I've seen everything from, you know, CD Projekt Red has scammed everybody to all sorts of things. You know what? It's a game, and it's a huge game, and I think everybody needs to sort of chill. Okay? There's going to be bugs. And you know what makes it great? Just the bugs that are there are just like every city out there. Every city has issues. Every city has growing pains. When they build a city from nothing, there's all kinds of issues. It's not perfect out of the gate. They don't just say, "Oh, look, here's a city." The cities are constantly growing, constantly evolving. So in this case, there's going to be lots of there's going to be updates, there's going to be glitch fixes, there's going to be all sorts of things that, we're going to see over time. So I just want to start off by saying CD Projekt Red, thank you. They're not sponsoring this video or anything like that. We don't work with them or anything. We just love their game. We love what they've done with the lore that was first created in 1989 by Mike Pondsmith. The storylines, how they expanded on all of it. A huge undertaking, and thank you very much. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into a little bit about what this game is about. Now, this game is, I don't think people quite realize what this game is about. This game, actually, here's a book. I'd like everybody to read this book for the YouTube channel. It's in the link below. Order this book. This is the book here. Okay. This book right here. This book right here is essentially your how-to guide of how the story works and all the bits and pieces of the story that were fit together and put together. First of all, the book is very well it's very well written, but the artwork that's in the book is just fantastic. It's just thank you so much. Now, this book was done by Dark Horse Publishing. And there's a little bit about here's the ad there. Sort of hard to tell with the green screen up. But it gets into the weapons, it gets into the stories behind, how it all started. This book gets into the different vehicles, the car companies in the vehicles, right? Look, gets into the vehicles. Okay. The car companies within the vehicles, within the that are doing the vehicles. Look at, right? Reads like an actual. Oops, that was weird. Reads like an actual, car guide. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Here's some of the car companies here. Right? Brilliant book. I recommend getting this book and reading it. This sits on our coffee table at the house, and it's brilliant. It gets into brain dances and where they came from. It gets into the, how they edit it and the history behind it. Brilliant, really great artwork. Okay, the artwork is excellent. So, anyways, this is a book that you really should read. Okay, and really should take some time to go over just the depth of what goes on in this game. And I can tell you something here with this game, that it's unlike anything else that's been put out before. Yes, it has glitches and has bugs and it has all kinds of awful, issues that you run into, but I'll be honest with you, those issues are with previous generation consoles and old generation hardware. This is a next gen game. Okay, this is a new generation of gaming. It doesn't work. I'm sorry, PS4 people, it doesn't work on your PS4 as well as you would have liked it. However, and same with Xbox, previous generation Xbox. This is a next gen game. Why, or I don't even understand any business sense whatsoever that CD Projekt Red decided to make this game, knowing when it was coming out. They decided to make this game compatible for an old console. Like, PS4 has been out for like 8 years plus. It's done. PS5 has now come out. So how they didn't just put this out with the same next generation PS5 and the new Xbox, the new generation Xbox, it said forget you, this is how it works. And then of course it works on PC. Of course it works on PC. I bought the game. I never even considered putting it on a console. I put it on the PC. I have a gaming PC that it runs just fine. It runs great. Now, of course, there's some glitches here and there that you notice. Like one time, I kind of fell through the map a little bit, but you know, wasn't end of the world. And one of the nice things about this game is yes, it's glitchy, but there's constant save points. Unlike, you know, Fallout where you had to save the game and then if it doesn't do an automatic save, it's kind of way back in the game, right? So I'm glad they did it that way. Now there's these you know, all constant save points, which is great. So I'm pretty happy with the game, and I wish other people would be as happy as I am. Explore the game. The game's amazing. So I'm going to show you a couple of videos of some existing games that are out there that have glitches. They all have glitches, and we all see. You can go to YouTube and see YouTube glitches. Now, here's some pretty major YouTube glitch games here. So this is one from our buddy Courage, right? Everybody knows Courage. Well, here's a game that Courage is playing. And this is in, you know, a small little indie game called Warzone. Okay? Made by Activision, which is, you know, just a small little company, little independent company. No. It is a huge game, and this is across multiple platforms. And, you know, here we go. Let's watch this video.
I have a broken Texter gun in the gulag. I have a broken Texter gun in the gulag. I have a broken
competitions.
Gun in the gulag.
Oh my god, this one's broken as well.
Oh, someone's rezzing.
Yep. Oh my god.
See? That's from Courage.
Oh my god, screen right now.
Look at that.
All your guys are bugged.
Like they have
This bug's horrible. We can't even watch
money
the
on the
game.
line for some of these competitions, and there's
you
buggy
don't
like
realize
this.
how bad this is.
Bro, this is just what my screen looks
Games
like.
have bugs,
literally hiding the camera
right?
now. This is
They all
so
have
bad.
bugs.
I'm like inside your guy's character model.
Yeah, so they all have bugs. Okay. Here's another game that's coming out. That's out. Fallout 76. Fallout 76 is next gen now. This is totally next gen. This is Bethesda has had games. This exact game for this is. I think this is like number 4 or 3. I think it was 3 for this type of it was like Wastelander and things like that. So I think it starts at 3, and then it goes Fallout, I think Vegas, and 4, and then there's 76. So they've had a number of games to get this stuff right. But this is from who did this one? This one was the Fallout 76 Internet Historian. You know, has many more subscribers than I do. It's okay. Okay. Now, not competitions, but you can see this is a newer game. Okay, nobody's calling for Bethesda to shut down their studio and to like this is a new generation game. Okay, this isn't old stuff. Okay, now the other thing is we have to go over is how the textures and the quality and just how big these maps are. So there's a great video that was put out by Edge Runner Cold. Okay, 10,008 subscribers. We'll subscribe to him because I like this video. It was well done, and we're gonna turn this down a little bit. Is it down pretty good? It's down pretty good. Okay. Check this out. This is a great comparison.
Watched on the grid and boom, the map scale is done. Circling back to this video introduction, this is how the Cyberpunk 2077 map compares to Valen and Los Santos.
Witcher 3. They did Witcher 3.
Before you write down that the dev said that the Cyberpunk map would be smaller than the Witcher 3. Don't forget that Witcher 3 also have White Ochre, Skellige, and Tucson, so there's a lot more than just Valen.
Yeah.
Another thing to keep in mind is that the map of Cyberpunk 2077 is highly explorable. There
Very
are
explorable.
hundreds of fully modeled interior, and most of them are quite interesting. Although it would be cool to be able to walk everywhere,
it's not realistic.
Unrealistic
yeah, totally.
at best. I mean, you cannot expect that
it's not part of the game anyways.
Every single floor of every single building to be explorable. Keep in mind that Cyberpunk 2077 is not a sandbox game. It is a story-driven RPG, and the map is there to serve the story. This becomes clear after a few hours into the game, as there are a lot of explorable interiors, but they are all there as the stage for the main plot. I really hope this video was helpful and informative to you. If you think
So one of the other things about Cyberpunk that I don't think people quite realize, I think lots of people do. I can say everybody feels this way. But some of the things about Cyberpunk that is different is they've taken a lot of elements from the games that have come before it. Grand Theft Auto. They've taken a bunch of, there's elements that are in Grand Theft Auto that are in Cyberpunk. Lots of it. We all know that. Steal cars, you know, level ups and things like that. Fallout. The open worldness of Fallout. The difference between Fallout and Cyberpunk being the richness of the map and the depth of the map. Fallout was very cool because it was really wide open. And you walk everywhere. You don't really drive anywhere, so you walk everywhere. There's all these little, you know, monsters and bugs and things that you run into along the way. But there's not a lot of people. Cyberpunk is full of people. Like we've all seen the gameplay. So I think everybody needs to sort of step back and say, okay, well, Cyberpunk is early in development as far as early in release. It's just, sorry, not development, early release. Just came out. 8 million people downloaded it. It's going to be around for a long time. And I think we all need to sort of step back and say, you know what? Let's embrace the glitchiness of Cyberpunk. Okay? Embrace it. You on the consoles, you guys on the consoles with the last gen consoles, you should be lucky that CD Projekt Red developed the platform so that they didn't say, hey, well, too bad, tough luck. You should buy the next generation console if you want to play our game, right? We've seen that lots of times, and everybody gets all mad at the companies that do that, and then they end up buying the game, the next generation console. CD Projekt Red went to the extent to develop this so you could use it on PS4. This isn't a PS4 game, okay? It should never have come out on PS4, but they did. I personally, if I was in charge, which I'm not, I would have said, hey, this is next generation game. It's coming out right along the same time as the PS5's coming out. There's going to be lots of PS5s sold. It works on PC. There's lots of PC gamers out there. Works on my PC just fine. So, you know, next generation consoles, yes. PCs, yes. But everything else, sorry. That's what they should have done to avoid this calamity. But embrace it, because there's going to be updates. There's going to be, you know, things that they change, and you know, they're going to see the glitches. They're going to move forward. So the game's not going anywhere. Just because you download it doesn't mean you need a refund. They're going to make it. They're going to keep going with it. Okay. There's going to be updates all the time. So that's kind of all I have to say about, you know, that's kind of all I have to say about Cyberpunk at this point in time and playing on Cyberpunk. So we are going to move on to something else that's very cool. Also today we want to talk a little bit about. We want to talk a little bit about the what we're drinking today, because we sometimes have drinks when we do these Commerce and Cocktails. Today we're doing some Scotch. Okay, this is Glenlivet Scotch. Now they're not like some independent small organization, and Scotch, you just kind of sip Scotch. You don't do shots of scotch. If I ever find out anybody's doing shots of scotch, well, you shouldn't be doing shots of scotch. Okay, so that's a single malt Scotch whiskey. Sometimes you have some water with it just to clean your mouth out a little bit. I think some people take scotch and they sometimes put an ice cube in it. They sometimes add some water to it to release some of the tannins, but we'll just leave it at that. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on to something else here. We are going to develop, or we're going to build something very cool. We've decided that we're going to build a Tesla. We're going to do a stock build of a Tesla. So this is their new model, the Model Y. It's like the Model X, but it's a little more compact, right? A little tighter. You know, personally, I would definitely get a Model X. I love how they did that with the S, the E, the X, and the Y in the Cybertruck. If you haven't ordered your Cybertruck by now, guys, get on it. I've already ordered it. Brilliant, brilliant, cool. I'm looking for. I hope the Cybertruck looks just like this. I hope they don't do too much changes with it. You know, here in Canada, we couldn't use the single motor. Here in Canada, you're dripping around in a rear-wheel drive pickup truck. It must be a summer vehicle or some type of, you know, municipality work vehicle or something. You should always have an all-wheel drive vehicle in pickup truck in Canada. So Canada is pretty much the dual motor all-wheel drive. There's not much you do on Teslas. You pretty much just pick the motor style or the transmission style, or sorry, there's no transmission, the drivetrain, dual motor, single motor, tri-motor, 1, 2, or 3 motors, and then whether you want the full self-driving or not. Just if you're going to do a Tesla or really any car now and you're ordering it, just order all the driver assistance stuff on it, because if you're not putting driver assistance on it now, future-proofing your vehicle, your purchase, you're going to want to put driver assistance on as much as you can, whatever's on there. So in the future, when you do sell it, it's got all the stuff that everybody wants, right? Due today 150. Yeah. So that's all you do with the Cybertruck. There's not much to do on the Cybertruck. A little more to do with the Model S, which is a great vehicle. You know, again, you choose your motor, but you get to choose color, which you don't do in the other one. Price includes potential savings. Of course, you choose that? Price includes potential savings. Let's do that. Long range plus 92,000 performance. Now, the 22.5 seconds, 161. So, like, first of all, top speed, what do you get? You can't go that fast anyways. So, I mean, you're not going to go 261 or 250. You get caught going 250, you lose your license and the car. So that's not a really good buy. So, but again, it's the range, right? The range. See the difference? Oh, so if you have range anxiety and you want a Model S, maybe you might go to the long range plus rather than the performance, right? Tri-motor all-wheel drive. Well, look at the range. Range exploded. Is plaid. One thing beyond ludicrous mode is plaid. I'm gonna put in the chat where. I'm gonna put chat. But nobody's watching. We're going plaid. We're going plaid. We go plaid. Estimated delivery date late 2021. That's okay. It's a $180,000 car, guys. Like, when you order your vehicles, when you order luxury vehicles like this, yeah, you're gonna wait a little bit. Of course there is. That's okay. Especially if you think you're getting a big raise. order it now, and then hopefully that big raise comes in. But you got look at you. What cost includes, you know, gas savings is $9,000, 1,100 horsepower. Like, this is like sick. What are you gonna do with that? What would I do that? I go real fast with that. That's for sure. I love those rims. Those rims are beautiful. Would I do these rims? These rims. I don't know. I like these rims. These rims are. These ones are common in these and in electric vehicles and in sort of fuel economy based vehicles. They have these sort of fat rims here like this that look like windmills. It's for wind. That's what it's meant for, to cut down on, just for wind resistance. This one's just a little more stylish. I would do that one for sure. And would I do the black? We do that one. I do like the blue. I don't know. See the red. When you get the red, I don't think it's that red. I don't think it's that red. I would do red though. I do. I love red cars. That looks real nice. I like that. Red with tan. I mean, like that. That looks pretty good. I like that. Or the white with the black, the red and the white, like Team Canada. You know, I had a hard time saying no to that. I like that. I like that. Now autopilot. Autopilot? Now, would you do all the autopilot? I would. Again, future-proof your car. So if you've already gone up to this sort of level, if you're at that level of purchasing, you would just probably go like this. Boop. That's if you can buy the 201, you can buy the 211. It's not a thing. Once you get way up to those clients that are up there, you just it's not the issue. Can you lease it? Oh, lease. $3,000 a month to lease? That's okay. What about a loan? $2,400 a month. Potential savings in 6 years. Hold on a second here. Well, what is this? 3% APR. 96 months. You can do 8 years. It'd be like this. Paid off in 3 years. $6,100 a month. See, Teslas are not for this level of Tesla is not for the average Joe. I mean, not everybody can afford this kind of vehicle, right? I would love it. That's nice though. All right, let's see what it looks like. We put it all on there. That's a nice car. Potential savings in $9,900. Due today, $2,500. Fully refundable. I just want to see orders being placed. Place order because it blocks you out. Needs this. All you need is your first name, last name, email, and phone number. That's it. That's an old phone number. You guys can call it all you want. I don't even have that phone number anymore. Oops. So we built an S. The 3s, let's see how well you can do on a 3. Like how expensive can you get a 3? Can you get a 3-way up there? Standard all-wheel drive? No. Can't. That doesn't come standard all-wheel drive. See, I think it's just too small. I just think it's just a little too small for me. So I wouldn't even do this one. Performance, it's 74. Would you get a performance Model 3 though? Right? I mean, like, honestly, guys, standard range. Do you think you actually drive that? Do you think you drive this right here? Maybe we'll see how cheap we can get it. All cars have a power trunk, glass roof, and autopilot. Okay. Did I do red one again? Blue. Those wheels are, oh, those are awful wheels. If you guys are watching this, and you have a Model 3 and you have those wheels, they're the best. Those ones are nicer though. Sport wheels. Aero wheels. See the aero. It's all about aerodynamics with those big fat sort of things like that. So those are nicer. Wish you could change a wheel color though. If you have body matching wheels, that'd be alright. 2000 included. So that's the one that's included. So you get like the base model. White? Oh yeah, the white interior for sure. Estimated delivery date 1 to 12 weeks. They must just be mass producing that. What's this one? Included. So the black is included. I don't know. Would you do the black? I think that'd be the one thing I get extra. Would be the white interior. I like that. Full self-driving. See, that's the thing. Now, as soon as you add, that's a $10,000 option. Available for purchase post-delivery. Or so like a goes time with the new release features. Look at that. They did with the price. So you can full self-driving capability is available for purchase post-delivery. So you can buy it after you get the vehicle. That's nice. I like that. Can't do that with a lot of things. Yeah. That's all right. So, lots of great things on the Tesla. I like their build. You can build it and just order it. Right? I like that. This is the one that I would get, though, out of any of the Teslas. Well, sorry. This is the Tesla that I would get right here. Where is it? Model 3, Model X, Model Y. Cybertruck. Where's the Roadster? They don't have it in here? Oh, did they get rid of the Roadster? Oh, there it is. I don't know why it's not showing up in the little thing here. This is the one I would get. Hands down. Wouldn't even be a question. Oh, that's so nice. That is so nice. I love the shape of how they did it. It's just so nice. And your neck's broken. 1,000-kilometer range. I mean, it's amazing. I love those seats. Those seats are amazing. Those are gorgeous seats. I love the shape of them. So if you are, you know, you're in the car business and you're watching this video and you happen to be, you know, interested in the car industry and you're just dead set against electric cars and, you know, you think that they're just silly and whatever. Who cares? What you think is of no concern to the reality of the future. The reality of the future is that all your consumer cars will eventually be all electric. You think 1,000-kilometer range is not enough? Like, what are you worried about? You're worried about driving 1,000 kilometers and running out? Like, go drive. So you want to drive from, you know, a whole state? You know, there's states that aren't even that. Some states aren't even that wide. So, not an issue for most people. Like top speed of 400 kilometers an hour. Where are you going to do that? What are you going to do? Let's reserve one. Yeah, I'd like to reserve one. The Founders Series, please. Oh, due within 10 days. $58,000 due within 10 days. Pony up. One Founders Series Roadster reservation. Due within 10 days, $316,000. Due today, $16,000. Within 10 days. So you got to give us $6,000 today, and then when we finally get a hold of you, and we catch up on all the emails, and we catch up on all the orders, we'll get to you, and then we'll ask you for the other, you know, $316,000. That's pretty amazing, you know. But it's a supercar. I mean, if you're in the luxury car business, you can't be so hung up on the cost of the vehicle. If the customer that you're dealing with in this industry and they're coming in to buy this vehicle, and you don't talk about price with them, that's not what they want. They've already nobody's going to come in and you know, talk about this car and haggle you about the price. They know the price. Just move on from that. There's all sorts of other questions that they're going to have for you. They're going to have, you know, I'm looking at this one. I'm looking at a, you know, a Lamborghini, and I'm looking at a Ferrari, and I'm looking at all these other, you know, supercars. What are you doing that's so different, and why should I buy this car? You know, I understand that it's electric, and, you know, I don't really drive it far. This Roadster, nobody's driving supercars, you know, 1,000 kilometers in a shot. I mean, unless they're doing like a cannonball run. Nobody's driving 1,000 kilometers in one shot for this car. So that's not a thing. Not a concern. But what are you going to tell the customer that comes in here? What are you going to say that's different? You're going to say, well, this car is super fast. Yeah, I get it. It's fast. You know, I think what you would be able to talk to a customer about with a car like this is just the uniqueness of it, and how it's sort of part of the future, and, you know, this is a next generation version of it. It's the Targa top with it. That Targa is beautiful, right? How they do that Targa top. You don't see that much anymore. Right? Supercars do a little bit more, but not with domestic cars. But supercars, you'll see that. Look at that. It looks all seamless. Brilliant, right? All-wheel drive. Founder Series. 1,000 reservations available. There you go. That's how you sell that car. There's 1,000 of them we're going to make. So there you go. You know, it'd be nice if there was like a racing series with this car. If everybody had the same car and they just did a racing series with the Tesla Roadsters around like really common, around really famous tracks like the Nürburgring or, you know, Silverstone, you know, Great Britain, stuff like that. So that'd be really cool. Take it around the circuits. Do like your every time they do Formula E, you know, they do a little thing like this. Everybody brings their electric cars and does a race in Formula E. That's cool. That'd be neat to do. That's cool. So, I don't know, we cruise around Tesla. I think if anybody's watching this and they're watching the YouTube channel, they're watching any of the videos that I've done before. I did a video where we went into the getting a job at Tesla and working at Tesla, and sort of we did the whole info session. We streamed the info session, which was a popular video. So I think if you're looking at selling this product and you're looking at being involved in Tesla, watch that video. That video is great. It'll sort of give you a good understanding of what's involved in working with Tesla, right? But Tesla's bigger than just a vehicle. Tesla is actually much more than that. They're sort of trying to, they've got a bigger goal. So watch the video, you'll be able to find out. Powerwall. A Powerwall's been around for a lot longer than people realize it. Anyways. So, second thing, who is the competition for Tesla? Who's Tesla's biggest competition? Well, in America, who's Tesla's biggest competition is really not a whole lot. Outside of America, Tesla's not the biggest. So, biggest EV brand in Europe. Renault, right? 53%. Volkswagen Golf, 39%. Minus 14. These must be recent stats that came out this year. No, Europe's number one. Stop it. Tesla's stock chart. What year? What month is this? July 24th. I had no idea. $2020. Change from 2019 to 2020. Model 3 minus 14. They still sold a lot of cars though. Like that's still not a little bit of cars. They still sold a high volume of cars. They're just not the most. Now obviously the Tesla Model 3 is probably I think is a little higher in the class of than most of these other ones here. I sold a few of those. These are all sort of pretty budgety cars. So the Model 3 is probably of a little more elaborate ones. Now, that's just the Model 3. Okay. So you can see these are car brands that we all know. And we've known all these car brands. These are not one type of vehicle car manufacturers. Everybody knows VW, Volkswagen, they know BMW, Kia, Hyundai, Audi, Nissan, Peugeot, not in North America, but they do in Europe, so much a little more. VW and Renault. So the thing that's different between all these car brands in Europe is that Tesla and most of the car brands out there, Tesla only does electric vehicles. So we're going to look at other competition for electric vehicles that do just electric vehicles. So there's a company in China called NIO that is starting to really climb in. Look at their stock exploding. NIO is big. And they're a good product. They have a nice looking car. And now NIO's like Tesla but in China. And they do just electric vehicles. So they have some nice. That's like the Model Y. That almost looks like the new Mustang E from Ford. That kind of looks like that. They have a launch video. Let's see that launch video. We're gonna. Oh, it's one of these. It's one of these videos. It's one of these sort of. Sort of these videos where they're talking. I want to see like some cool, produced video.
一体化的穹顶式玻璃车顶，采用了双层的高强度的高化玻璃，
the glass roof.
2.1平米。
Yep. Yeah. Nice looking car. Standard. Oh, looks exactly like the Mitsubishi. Oh, that's not a very. Tesla does have them definitely beat in the looks category so far for this one. So they have one of these. I think there's this one. It's another SUV. I thought they had a car that was like really nice looking car. I think they had a car that was either next gen. Oh, there's something like that. One of the fastest electric cars in the world. So there's. That's pretty fast. That's a fast car. Ooh, I think we should watch this video. I've raced the Nuremberg many times on the simulator. Ooh. Listen to that whine. That's an electric supercar if you've ever heard one. Ooh. Yeah, hard right here, and then a big left, and the last bend, another right up there, a tight right, and then nice flowing left to the out, then straight away. Boom, straight away. Punch it. And you can go pretty fast on this part of the Nürburgring, and then a little bends up like that. Yeah. I raced this hundreds of times on a simulator. Just flying. Flat out. That's flat out spot right there. Yep, slows down. There's a part I drive over the curb here, around here. Come around. Then right up there. Yokohama corner. Oof. This is the part where I always go over the curb. I always go straight. I always mess it up. Right up here. Right here. Because it's on that hill like this. Goes up like that. I do that all the time. I slow down. Flat out. Anyways. I mean, this is an all-electric Chinese-made vehicle. So I always said that who's to stop China from coming in and just delivering 500,000 electric vehicles to the shores of America, right? Like if they get the sales, they launch it. People, oh yeah, let's do that. Like this is the thing that if you don't believe it or you don't get it, if you don't believe it or you don't get it or you don't think that it's gonna come, once they launch their brands, once all these brands come out, like a Neo, like you've never seen Neo before. They're traded in the stock exchange now. I think they're in the New York Stock Exchange. They're becoming bigger and bigger all the time. It's this EV. Oh, these are some wild ones. Formula E. Ooh, that's nice. It's got the halo on it. That's pretty good. There's a driver just a couple of weeks ago saved his life. Roman Grosjean saved his life. This halo there. He was a big against the halo, and he just duffed it right into the barrier, and he says saved his life. One of the worst crashes I've ever seen. It's happened so fast. Yeah, Roman Grosjean. Everybody's Grosjean, racing driver. Everybody wants to see his accident. Undergo surgery. Everybody wants to see his accident. Everybody does. Come on. This was right here. I watched this live. You're not going to get something like that. You're not going to get all that fire as much as that when you have electric vehicles. There's no fuel. So there's some advantages to that, right? Racing with an EV. So Formula E, if you have never seen Formula E is a really cool race. One of the things that's nice about Formula E that's different is that Formula E, they're a little more balanced in the racing. The racing is a little different. So if you're a fan of Formula One, and you're probably you've seen a lot of Formula One in the last 4 or 5 years, you're seeing obviously that there's a trend with Mercedes just winning Formula One nonstop. So of course I'm speaking to the people who don't know about Formula One. So if you're watching this and you know all about Formula One, we all know, we feel your pain. The difference between Formula One and Formula E is that Formula E is a lot more balanced. They're a lot less dependent on aero dependency, which is what they're getting rid of in the next couple of years. So it looks like they're getting into the Gen 2 Formula E Championship. Neo introduces all new powertrain Gen 2, enter race mode. Right? Oh, you can buy that. Oh, next race. Santiago, Chile. Marrakesh, Morocco. That's already over. Formula E. Racing took a bit of a hit this year. Started late. Right? I really think Tesla needs to get into Formula E in a big way. I'd love to see Tesla in Formula E. And you know what? Racing in general, when you enter your brand into a racing, not only do you learn not only do you get to race, which is really cool, and it's marketing and everything like that, you learn from the racing teams because racing teams have to really fine tune everything. They have to use every little advantage. So you learn a lot about aerodynamics, weight reduction. You learn a lot about reliability. All these things you learn about when you race. So I think it would be great for Tesla to get into racing, but and they can afford it now. So they could say, hey, it's marketing. We're going to now have racing as part of our marketing budget. I would do that. So this is Neo. Neo is a competitor that's coming in. You'll see a lot more about Neo in the future. Right now you don't hear much about them. So they do just consumer cars, it looks like. So there's another brand that if you're mentioning Neo, you have to mention this brand too. This brand has been out for a while. I've been following this brand for a long time called Build Your Dreams is what BYD stands for. They're publicly traded as well now too. This is a stock that if you're looking at, this might be one that you scoop up. Their cars never used to be this nice looking. It was probably like prototype. Passenger vehicles, see some of the passenger vehicles. They didn't have a big lineup a couple of years ago. Pretty standard sedan, right? Nothing too wild for their trickery with my eyes. And they've had that one for a bit, right? Yeah, same one. These little sort of, crossover utility vehicles. Don't even bring that one here. I mean, it'd be all right. I mean, some people might like it. It's not a huge big. Same with like the Toyota Yaris. Wasn't a big seller. That's like the Toyota Prius, Prius V, the extended one. Today, yeah. So this is theirs now. BYD is that's like a Hyundai Sonata or something. But this isn't their bread and butter. Their bread and butter is this. This is their bread and butter right there. BYD has already delivered vehicles to California. They delivered them to New York, so they're delivering more electric buses. That's their big thing is these electric buses. These are all electric buses. Big thing now, right? They have these little commercial trucks too, right? Those are great. 7 conventional types of vehicles, 4 specialized types of vehicles, right? So they now this is a big thing for them. So if you look in here, you go BYD sales in US. Electric cars are not sold yet in the States. Annual sales of plug-in electric vehicles. Oh, look at this. 1.1 million vehicles. How BYD sell? Where is BYD sold? They've sold buses. There you go. 100th electric truck in the US. So they're already delivering electric vehicles. So under the radar, they're flying under the radar, right? Now their cars are nowhere near as nice as the Tesla. They're nowhere near as stylish as the Tesla as far as that goes. But again, Teslas are not cheap. They're a more expensive vehicle. And according to, you won't see those vehicles, the really high volume vehicles for Tesla out anytime soon, right? They're sort of going to be the $50,000 vehicles, right? That's their thing. So BYD is a company. They do electric, right? And then so does Neo. So those are 2 of the bigger companies in competition. Again, they're out of China. But look, I should have added this one. I was going to add this one some other time, but I'll clip this and I'll add this one day. So look, if you're dead set against China coming to America and their products and their manufacturing and everything like that, you're just going to have to get over that because now they do consumer products more and better than anybody. You're not going to take that crown away from China anytime soon. Okay, so don't bother. Work with China, right? Now, one of the things that is built in America that Americans buy and Canadians buy is big machines, right? Big complicated machines, right? Like cars, like big commercial vehicles, construction vehicles. Those are majority made in America, and those complicated sort of large industry-based vehicles, large industry-based products, things like, like your iPhone, or like really sort of high tech things like that require very precision technology and precision manufacturing on a mass scale, like televisions, like laptops, like those types of things. You're going to be really difficult to start getting that made in America. It's just not set up for it. The volume, and the thing is you could do it. You could start it, and you could come out of the gate and swinging, but how long will it last? I mean, the amount of volume that they put out there is unbelievable. Fighting against China is a bad business decision. Anybody that's trying to resist Chinese influence in your business and in how you buy things, go ahead. That's your decision. But anybody in business now that's in consumer side businesses understands that you work with China. China not only is a major producer, but they're a major buyer too. They buy a lot of things. Okay, when you want to fight with a producer who's also a major buyer, also a major consumer, you're just barking up the wrong tree. Work with it. Work with China. Work with nations around the world that are better than you at things, right? I would love for more people to understand that this is a global economy. We are all fighting for the same scrap of dirt. Okay, we're on this earth to live our lives and to survive. Everybody's trying to make a living. Okay, that's one thing that we all have in common across the world. Everybody's trying to make a living. How we do that, that's up to everybody around us. It's up to you. That's up to me. Me, you, me. So companies like BYD coming in and selling vehicles, it's gonna happen. It's part of the future. It's part of how we deal with things and how we move forward. So that's that. So a little rant on how we work with different countries around the world. There's also countries that produce things that you don't know about. And like, first of all, Canada, believe it or not, we produce the most maple syrup. That's what we do. Lots of maple syrup. Look, you don't believe me? Of course you believe me. Everybody does. You have to understand that Canada makes maple syrup. Canada maple syrup export. Oops. And we export a lot to China too. Maple syrup. Maple syrup production. Can't look at this. Statista. Yeah, whatever. Look at this. Maple syrup production, Canada, 2008, 2020. Oh, a little dip in 2018. Boom, boom. Look at that. Look at the exports. Boom. 2015, major dip in 2015. Well, fell off the face of the earth 2015. 16, 17, dip in 2018. 19, 20, big jump, right? But look, that's millions producers. That's a big believe it or not, that's a big thing for us, right? It's unique to Canada. Not unique to Canada, but it's something that we do, right? Okay, maple syrup industry, right? Who buys more? United States. United States buys lots from us, right? We're probably not gonna get into that. But anytime, oh, by the way, like, feel free to, like, if you're looking for information, this is a good spot. Like, if you're in Canada, go to this spot like this, right? You'll find lots of great information that is like real and stuff that's been on the books for many years. Some documents that are super important, right? Correct. Where the maple syrup flows, United States. Export destination. The United States buys a lot of maple syrup. Whew. Look at that maple syrup. It's flowing out the door. Oh, where I live, you see, there's every street corners. Believe it or not, there's you go to the grocery store, you find there's people hustling maple syrup outside of the grocery store. Yes, yes, it is true. So yeah, this is sort of that's sort of some competition for Tesla. Obviously in America, not much right now, but in other places around Europe, you know. Now this is oh, it's not the right one. Was it Neo electric car company? So this company here. Now these are unique only the fact that they just produce electric vehicles. Okay, so these are two major car companies coming out of China that you should be thinking about, you should be looking at, and look for their stock. Oh, Neo stock. New York Stock Exchange. Look at this. What is it? 6 months ago? 6 months ago. Like, look at this. $49. Huge. Okay. That was 5-fold increase. 7-fold. So, I don't think BYD is not sold in. Yeah, see, there's no BYD stock. I think it's just the Chinese Shanghai Stock Exchange or something like that. Shenzhen, China. This is another one that you need to take some care for. Look into. Look at this. Look at this. Way down here. Look at that. It's all green, man. It's all green. Look at this. It might be a good time to buy if you're buying into on the stock exchange. Does Warren Buffett still own BYD? Bet big on BYD as far back as 2008, just 5 years after Tesla was founded. Right? Look at this. There's Neo down here. Geely is like Land Rover, Range Rover type thing, and they own it's a Chinese company. But I think Volvo too. No. Geely I think is Land Rover, Range Rover cars. Am I wrong? I might be wrong on this. I thought they owned. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Okay, my wrong. My problem. My fault. Oh, they did own Volvo cars. Yeah, okay. Okay, so they do control Volvo cars. Okay, so I thought. They also do Jaguar too, do they not? Lotus, right? The Polestar was part of the electric, sort of the racing thing with Volvo. So they own Volvo. Okay, I know that. Anyway, so there's BYD, there's Geely, or sorry, there's BYD, there's Neo. Xpeng, what's Xpeng? Xpeng Motors? What is Xpeng? Yeah, what is Xpeng? Xpeng produces and sells premium electric vehicles, including the G3. Okay. What's Xpeng look like? We gotta see what these things look like. Well, we gotta see what Xpeng vehicles look like. Do they look all boxy and gross looking? What's that? Ooh, Okay, yeah. I've seen this one. Yeah. That's a nice looking car. That's not so nice. That's a nice car. Open gallery. It's a nice looking car. I like that. I like that front end, like that. A real sleek front end. Does have some dated lines to it though. Almost looks a little like an Infinity almost type thing. So it's got some dated lines to it, but I still like the styling. Right? Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. I wonder if you see it up. I bet you if you see it up close, it'll look good. Oh, what is this? I don't want that. What's this? What? That's not how the doors open, is it? It can't be right. Motley Fool. You Motley. Why don't we see a video on it? Maybe it's Xpeng video? Is there videos on this? Okay, bye.
Mostly designed for driving in China and all of the complications that brings. Can you just talk about the product briefly?
Yep.
Yeah, so we develop what we call smart EVs in China. We actually have two products, one SUV model, the other one sports sedan model. What we have is actually self-developed full smart cockpit operating system as well as voice control technologies. And also we have our own self-developed autonomous driving technologies as well. So we are very heavily invested in R&D as a company, and I think we're looking at future mobility that's more defined by software than hardware.
Right. It feels like you run a little more vertical than some of your well-known rivals. You operate your own network of charging stations. What's the strategy behind that?
Well, we believe that providing customers a very comfortable charging experience is one of the key differentiating factors for us. We have our proprietary network of charging stations in China, and we aim to further develop and invest in that area. And I think in the long run, I think having the infrastructure in China to service all the EV drivers is a critical factor to drive the overall penetration.
You've got pretty sizable operating losses, but you're trying to shave down the negative operating margin. Can you address, I guess, what would be a classic investor concern? And then, of course, the sort of elephant in the room, given the ongoing tensions between the United States and China, what gave you the confidence to come to market in the U.S.?
Yeah, I think as a young company, obviously, we need to invest up front in order to develop our technology.
We're gonna have a long, hard road.
But I think that we are rapidly improving our margins over the years. And even this year, I think we have narrowed our gross margin to break even almost. And I think we are seeing a positive gross margin trends for our products. In the long run, I think once our volume picks up, I think that we actually will narrow the net margin loss as well. In terms of coming to the U.S., I think it's still I would say, the deepest pool of capital with the most sophisticated investors. Again, I think the geopolitics tension is always going to be there, but we want to be partnered with the best.
Might not be much as much as it was before.
Who understands our industry and can see the opportunity.
Well, where's their website?
And the Trump administration has made a very specific threat, though, to delist Chinese companies that are trading here in the U.S. I mean, what assurances did you get from securities regulators on both sides, both in the U.S. and China, that you could continue to trade here? And what assurances did you have to give U.S. regulators about being able to audit your financials?
Oh, that's it.
Well, we work
I thought that was like a Wikipedia page.
Big audit firms in China. Our auditor is PwC. Obviously, they're China affiliate. And now we have, I think conformed to
Another
all the
one.
standards,
These all the same sort of
that's,
looks. Yeah, I
suitable
know.
for
The,
US listing.
so the mini
We have
SUV market,
confidence in the
right?
rigorous
There's it.
system,
There's
both
a
in
sedan
China
and
the
SUV.
US. And I think,
That's what they got.
my expectation
2 cars.
is, there will be
You need a few more than that.
something to be worked out between the two countries. And also as a
G3,
company
P7.
listing on the capital markets, we can always prepare for alternatives in for example, Hong Kong
Same
dual
car.
listing and others.
Here's
that
the
could
back of it. Here's the
give
front
us,
of it.
sort of options. But I think at the moment I still see the U.S. market is one of the most solid and deepest and the best market for us to access capital.
Finally, I wonder, can you give viewers a sense of the degree to which consumer adoption of EVs differs by market? And I guess your clarity is best on China. How is the consumer thinking about that transition versus, say, an American one?
Well, in China, I think there is a strong emphasis on new energy vehicles. Obviously, the government has been providing incentives and policies try to foster the development of the industry. But more importantly, and also more recently, you start to see the consumer side really focus on innovative and cool products. And that's why
Innovative
Tesla
and cool
has been selling
products.
very well this year in China. And also, companies like ourselves and others who actually provide smart, innovative products, actually capturing the consumer's attention. So I think this is still early innings of the long-term trend.
You got 2 cars, bud.
EV
You need a few more than
penetration in China
that.
is still below 5%, and also what I call the smart EV phenomenon is just to start to take shape. So we have actually a lot of hopes that this will be a long runway for us.
They're showing a Tesla. There's lots of electric cars. It's gonna be the thing, right? Oh, the founder of NIO. Is it a good story?
Is the cost of heating your home stretching your budget? Our home winterproofing program can help with home.
Welcome to the first episode of Chosen.
I don't know if anybody watching this is from California. You probably don't get a lot of those ads. Cost to heat your home?
The Entrepreneur Series. In this channel, I tell the stories of some of the lesser-known entrepreneurs of this world. It's now mid-2020. The coronavirus has become widespread, affecting businesses across the world. US-China political tensions is at its all-time worst. Yet despite all of this, one Chinese company seems to have risen above and exploded to the world stage. The company I'm talking about is NIO, the electric car company based in China, recently brought into the spotlight as the stock price skyrocketed from $2 just half a year ago to $15 recently. But what doesn't get mentioned very often is the man behind this company, who's chosen to remain relatively low profile. Which is why in today's video, I'm going to share with you the story of the serial entrepreneur, the billionaire, the investor, the founder and CEO of NIO, William Li. On August 9th, 1974, William Li Bin was born in a small village located in Taihu County of the Anhui province of China. His father worked in a coal mine, and his mother worked in a garment factory in Nanjing City, 300 kilometers away from home. For the most part of Li's childhood, he was raised by his grandparents and uncle. The village was poor. In fact, it was so poor it wasn't until Li turned the age of 10 that the village had electricity and cement roads. Li was accustomed to hard work at a young age. Since he was 6 years old, he would get up early in the mornings and perform a variety of manual farm labor. And as he entered his teenage years, he helped run his grandfather's local convenience store, where he began to develop a business mind. His parents had modest expectations for him. Instead of attending university, they hoped Li would attend a technical school so he would have the skills to find a job after. However, William had his sights set far beyond his parents' expectations. By the age of 17, he achieved the highest score in the National University Entrance Examinations in his province and was admitted to Peking University, the top-ranked university in the country.
That is a good university.
During his time there, unlike most university students, William pursued not one, but 3 undergraduate degrees, namely in sociology, computer science, and law, with computer science being his strongest field of study. It became apparent to him that information technology and computer programming was what he would later want to pursue as a career.
Okay.
While attending university, Lee had very little time
Okay.
to spare on hobbies and recreation. He once recalled having to take 17 exams in 1 week. Economic development.
Okay.
Following double-digit growth in the industrial and agricultural sectors,
Cool.
the internet.
Cool. All right, so what's going on there? So I finished my scotch. I ranted and raved a bit enough on the stream here. So just to reiterate a couple of things that we went over, we talked a little bit about how everybody needs to just sort of chill out on the whole Cyberpunk video, and or Cyberpunk game, and CD Projekt Red did a fantastic job on it, and you need to explore it and immerse yourself in the game a lot more than you are, and I know a lot of people are loving it too. I feel sorry for the people on previous generation consoles, but it's maybe I would probably maybe go to the PC version. I haven't had hardly any issues with the PC version. Not saying like you can't do it on a console, but for sure PC is probably the way to go with this one. And I like it on PC. The rich graphics, it's good. I like it. The second, electric cars. We went over electric cars. We built a Tesla or two, and we talked a little bit about some of the competition with Tesla and the companies that are competing with Tesla that do just electric vehicles. NIO is a big one. You saw a little snippet about the history of the founder of NIO. So when the founder of NIO, when people are driven like that, like watch out. Like he could be like the Elon Musk of China. So yeah, NIO might be a big brand that you don't know of or don't think about, but keep your eye on NIO. NIO might be a $2,000 share car company one day, maybe. Right now, $40-50 is actually pretty good. It was $2 or $3 a little while ago, so goodbye. So I hope everybody had a great evening, and I really appreciate everybody that has stopped in, be it briefly or for the entire period of time. And I want to thank you for watching the stream. We were talking about a COVID business. I think that's something that we're going to get into next week. We really want to keep our streams around an hour and a half type of thing. But I will say this, starting a business in COVID is a good idea, is a bad idea. Starting a business during COVID is a great idea. We'll get into it more next week. One of the reasons why it's a great idea is that you're home, you're here, they're locking you in. You need to do all the academic stuff, like research your business, like do your business plan, like you can't leave, you're not going anywhere. So now's a great time to do all that nitty-gritty stuff. When the things start opening up, you'll be able to do all the other ends of it, like go meet people and and do that side of it. So we'll get into that a little more next week. I think it's a great time to start a business. I know lots of people that have changed their business and modified their business, and now they were waiting for years to do it, and now they finally had the time and the energy on the available time and energy to do it, because they're sort of stuck at home, and they're limited where they can go. So I want everybody to have this is the last stream we're going to do of 2020. I want everybody to have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and we will see you next time. Thanks.